Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round one of the Die Hard League tournament that happened on August 24th, 2023. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League Challenge next Thursday, August 31st, starting at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premier events at Die Hard Games, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good stuff. But anyways, let's get into this game. So here we have Eiscue EX versus card made out of light. Now I think this is Lost Giratina on the right. A Hisuian Basculin is benched. Water energy attached to the active Eiscue, Bravery Charm attached to the active Eiscue, giving it more HP, and it looks like a pass of the turn. Would have been very nice to lead with that Hisuian Basculin on the left to gather the crew. But anyways, on the right, we have a Battle VIP pass. Start. Battle VIP pass, very powerful card in the game. It lets you only on your first turn you can play this card. But when you do, you search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto the bench. So now this is how we set up here in these Battle VIP pass decks. Let's see, it looks like that might be a Sableye in the active. So definitely going to want to find those Comfeys and the Giratina V here. Maybe the Radiant Greninja as well. So yeah, looks like we're going to go for the Comfey and the Radiant Greninja. Comfey very good to add cards to the Lost Zone, to build up that Lost Zone. Definitely a resource in these Lost Zone decks. And Radiant Greninja to help draw cards with its Concealed Cards ability. Discard an energy, draw 2 cards. It doesn't have to be a basic energy either. It can be any energy, special energy or basic. So there we go. We resolved Battle VIP Pass, adding the 2 Pokemon to the bench. And let's see what else we got in hand. Switch card. Switching Comfey into the active, and it was a Sableye in the active, now on the bench. Radiant Greninja is going to use Concealed Cards, discard energy, draw 2 cards. Nice. Giratina V is found and put onto the bench. Definitely want that down turn 1 so it can evolve turn 2. And a Course Experiment is played. Definitely a high octane start here for the Lost Giratina deck. Course Experiment, supporter. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Keep 3 of them, add them to your hand, and add the other 2 to the Lost Zone. So now here's where some skill and strategy comes into play. Also deck knowledge. What exactly is in the deck? How many copies of the card do I have in my deck? What do I need right now? And what can I afford to get rid of forever for the rest of this game? Looks like a Comfey is going to hit the Lost Zone. Oh yeah, shout out to the V-Star marker there on the left. Looks like a Comfey is going to hit the discard and the Lost Zone and a Sableye. To keep another Comfey, so there must have been a couple of Comfeys in that Course Experiment and whatever else. Another Comfey hits the bench. Comfey in the active uses Flower Selecting, its ability to take a look at the top 2 cards of the deck and keep one of them and put the other in the Lost Zone. Well, it looks like there's a bit of a debate of which card should be grabbed here off of that Flower Selecting. Jet Energy goes to the Lost Zone, and I didn't see what card was kept in hand, but something more important apparently. Energy attached to the active Comfey to retreat, pay that manual retreat cost, going into the other Comfey that was on the bench, and using another Flower Selecting to take a look at the top 2 cards and add one to the Lost Zone and the other to the hand. Switch card is going to hit the lost zone, and a more important card is going to be kept. And that looks like a pass of the turn. Over to our Eiscue player, who immediately slams down that Irida. Irida, very interesting, very powerful supporter card. Lets you search your deck for a water Pokemon, basic or evolved, and an item card. Thing to note, tools can no longer be found with Irida, since tools are now their own classification of trainer card, and they're no longer items, no longer considered items anymore. Looks like we are favoring setup, so Frigibax is going to be found and put onto the bench, and Nest Ball will be the chosen item, allowing the player to search their deck for a basic Pokemon and add it directly to their bench. Chien-Pao EX is going to be found with that Nest Ball. And now we are starting to see some setup that would probably have been a little bit better to see on turn one, but better late than never, right? Right, guys? Right? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get things shuffled up here. Let me take a look on the right and see what resources are face up. Okay, so now another basic water is going to be attached to the Eiscue in a pass. Oh no. So yeah, we really wanted to see that Frigibax down turn 1 on the left, so that way turn 2 it could start evolving and accelerating energy, but play is resuming on the right. Concealed cards from Greninja, discarding a energy and drawing 2 cards. Greninja is going to evolve into Giratina V-Star. No, Giratina V is going to evolve into Giratina V-Star, giving it more HP and more powerful stats. Followed by a Course Experiment, looking at the top 5 cards of the deck, keeping 3 of them to the hand, and lost zoning the other 2. So our lost zone count is going to be at 6 and 7 this turn, activating that Mirage Gate. But anyways, looks like another Comfey and a Course Experiment hits the Lost Zone. Interesting. So those cards must have been very important. Lost Zone, your most powerful supporter in this deck. Comfey is Flower Selecting. Looks at the top 2 cards of the deck, keeps 1 of them, and Lost Zone's that Manaphy. Now we're at that magic number of 7 in the Lost Zone for these Lost Zone decks that play Mirage Gate at least. We'll talk about Mirage Gate when it comes up, if it does. Switch cart going to be played to switch into that second Comfey. Flower Selecting, looking at the top 2 cards. Lost Zoning a Giratina V. That's okay, because there's a V-Star on the bench, right? Should only need 1, right? Should. One Giratina family. And a Super Rod is going to be played to shuffle 3 basic energy back into the deck. Could also be basic Pokemon up to 3, of each. And there we go. There's that Mirage Gate. When there's 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone, you can play Mirage Gate to search your deck for 2 different energy cards and 2 different basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So the Grass Energy and the Psychic Energy is going to be slammed onto that Giratina V-Star, powering it up. You notice the Giratina player took a look through their deck, even after they picked the 2 energy, just to kind of take an inventory of the deck, see what resources are available, what plays might still be available for this in future turns. So that's what I like to see. Is get everything all shuffled up and cut here if wanted. And yeah, we're gonna try to start attacking with the V-Star this turn. I don't see why not. Yep, Jet Energy attached to that Giratina V-Star to bring it into the active spot. And now Giratina can start Lost Impacting. We'd like to see another Mirage Gate here maybe. But no, Pat to the Peak will be played, shutting off all those Rulebox Pokemon abilities, including Greninja on the bench. Another Giratina V is found and put onto the bench, and we're having kind of a picture-perfect turn 2 here for this Giratina V-Star player. Lost Impact, 280 damage, put 2 energy attached to your Pokemon into the Lost Zone, so that even fuels the Lost Zone count here, knocking out that Eiscue EX. Play resumes on the left. Basculin promoted to the active. Second Frigibax put onto the bench. Water energy attached to the Chien-Pao. And not. I think we're doing the Hisuian Basculin's attack. Yep, can attack for free. Gather the crew, search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, and put them onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. So now we're getting the setup. And let's see, it looks like that fancy Eiscue EX is found. Love that art. Let me know in the comments, are you a fan of that alt art Eiscue EX or not? And the beautiful full art Alolan Vulpix V is put onto the bench. Alolan Vulpix V, good nostalgia with the Alolan Ninetales GX deck. Anyways, back to reality, or back to the present. Giratina V-Star evolves onto the bench. Grass energy attached to the active Giratina V-Star. And now we are looking for boss's orders. We do not want to invest in, there we go. There's the boss's orders onto that Alolan Vulpix V. Not playing any games with this Alolan Vulpix V-Star in the future. And actually going to change the target and actually bring up the Chien-Pao EX and take the KO on it using Star Requiem. You can only use this attack if there's 10 more cards in the Lost Zone, and when you attack with it, just KO the opposing Pokemon. Doesn't matter how much HP there is. Very powerful. Alright, Eiscue EX is promoted, energy is attached to it. A defensive boss's orders is played here to bring up the not powered up Giratina V-Star, and a pass of the turn. Alright, will this be enough to buy our Eiscue player a turn? So now we need switch cart won't work to move Giratina V-Star out of the active spot, but a psychic energy is attached to the benched Sableye. Escape rope, that will move your Pokemon around. The opponent promotes a Basculin for the escape rope, and then the Giratina player promotes the Sableye. Sableye's Lost Mine says whenever there's 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone, you can put 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So, let's see. I know it can knock out the Hisuian Basculin. Oh no, yeah, it does take the KO on the Frigibax, 70 HP. Hisuian Basculin, 50 HP. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 damage counters. So, Hisuian Sableye taking the last 2 prizes of the game, capitalizing on the Eiscue player's slower start here. Yep, that can happen here in the Pokemon trading card game, but that's what keeps me coming back to prove in the next game that, hey, I just had a slow start in that game. This is really what my deck is supposed to do, right? But definitely fun to play a game of chance every once in a while. But yes, that's going to go ahead and do it for our round 1 of the league tournament that took place yesterday, August 24th. But anyways, what did you think of this video and the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.